Your Honor, my son has no legal claim to Henderson and Company. My mother's voice was steady, cold, confident. My father actually laughed when I stood to take the witness stand. Their lawyer smirked like this was already over. But the judge had just opened a sealed envelope, and inside were 3 years of receipts they didn't know I had. Why would parents sue their own child for a company worth $1.2 million? Stick with me. This gets wild. The courtroom was silent, the kind of silence that hums in your ears. I looked at my parents. They looked back like I was a stranger. Maybe I always had been. This is the story of how I went from the invisible kid to the defendant, and how 23 pages of paperwork made my parents stop laughing. Before we get into it, drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And if you have ever been underestimated by your own family, hit that like button. You will want to stay until the end. I was 25 when I stood in that courtroom. But the story starts way earlier. I grew up invisible. My older sister was the golden child. Medical school. Dean's List. Full ride scholarship. I went to community college for a logistics certificate. No one came to my graduation. At 19, I moved out. Rented a basement studio for $600 a month. Worked 60-hour weeks at a supply chain firm called Henderson and Company. The owner, Mr. Henderson, was 72. No kids, sharp as a blade. He saw something in me. You have the instinct, kid. When I retire, you get first refusal. I did not think he was serious. But I kept every email, every signed page, every bank transfer. I had learned early. Trust nobody's memory but the paper trail. 6 years later, Mr. Henderson called me into his office. I am done. I want you to buy the firm. I will give you a discount if you can close in 60 days. The price was $230,000. I had $47,000 saved. I got a small business loan for the rest. I did not tell my parents until after the sale closed. When they saw the LLC filing online, they did not congratulate me. They went silent. And silence, I would learn, was them loading the gun. 6 months after I bought the company, my parents invited me to dinner. Family dinner, my mother said. We need to talk. I should have known. I sat down. My sister was there. She would not look at me. My father poured himself whiskey and got straight to it. We have been thinking, this company, it should stay in the family. I nodded. It is in the family. It is mine. My mother leaned forward. We raised you. We enabled your success. You owe us. I kept my voice level. I worked for Mr. Henderson for 6 years. I saved every dollar of that down payment. You are not involved. She did not blink. We want 50% equity. As partners, I almost laughed. Almost. You did not invest $1. You did not co-sign. You are not on any paperwork. My father's voice went cold. Then we will take it to court. And we will win. My sister looked down at her plate. I stood up. If that is what you want to do, go ahead. I left that table knowing they would actually file. 3 weeks later, the summons arrived. The complaint was 14 pages long. They claimed unjust enrichment, oral agreement, undue influence. They said I had used family resources, a laptop they bought me in college, living at home during my sophomore year. They were trying to paint me as ungrateful, opportunistic. Their lawyer was expensive, connected. I hired a small business attorney. Good guy. But when he read the complaint, his face went tight. This is going to be tough. Judges are human. Family cases get emotional. Do you have documentation? I told him I did. But I was not sure it would be enough. 2 of my clients saw the lawsuit online. One paused a $60,000 contract. We need stability, the email said. We are pausing the renewal until this is resolved. My bank called. If ownership is disputed, we may need to recall your acquisition loan. For 48 hours, I could not sleep. What if they actually won? What if I lost everything I had built? Then I opened my files. I pulled the blue folder. And I remembered. I had the receipts. Inside that blue folder was the asset purchase agreement. 23 pages. Every page initialed by me and Mr. Henderson. Notarized on March 14th, 2021. No other names. No co-signers. no parental involvement. But that was not all. Mr. Henderson was still alive, still sharp, and he had signed an affidavit 3 months after the sale. I keep a copy in my safe. It says, and I quote, "I sold my business to the person who earned it." His parents never inquired, never assisted, and never appeared. Then there was the wire transfer. $47,000? From my personal savings account to the escrow company, no cosigners, no parental deposits in the trail. Just 6 years of my salary, saved one paycheck at a time. I scanned every page. I sent them to my lawyer. He called me 20 minutes later. "This is good. This is really good. But can you prove you earned that $47,000 on your own?" I smiled for the first time in weeks. "Yes, I can." That was receipt number 1. But my parents were betting I could not prove independence. They were wrong. My parents did not back down. Their lawyer filed an amended complaint. Now they claimed an oral agreement. They said I had promised at Christmas 2019 to make them partners. That was a lie, but it put me on defense. Then my mother started calling family, aunts, cousins, old neighbors. She told them I had stolen the business, that I was ungrateful, that I had cut them out. My phone blew up, is it true? Did you really do that to your parents? I did not respond. I knew anything I said would be twisted. Then my father went further. He contacted 2 of my largest clients. He did not say much, just vague warnings about pending litigation and leadership questions. One client pulled their contract. "We will revisit when this is resolved." $60,000 gone. My lawyer called again. "If you lose this case, they can force a sale or dissolution. You could lose everything." The trial date was set. 4 weeks out. 4 weeks until I either won my life back or lost it all. They were betting on my shame, my isolation, my fear. But I was not alone anymore. I had my records, and I had one more receipt they did not see coming. I went back to my email archives. January 11th, 2021. I had sent both my parents a message. Subject line, business opportunity. The body was simple. "Mom, Dad, Mr. Henderson is retiring. He has offered to sell me the company. If you would like to invest or co-own, please let me know by February 1st. I gave them 3 weeks to respond. My mother replied 2 days later. "We are not interested in your little projects. Focus on getting a real job." My father sent a text on January 15th. "You are on your own." Always have been. I had offered them the chance. In writing. They had scorned it. In writing. Now they wanted to take what they had refused to build. But I was not done. I pulled 6 years of bank statements. Every single one showed the same thing. Solo income, solo rent payments, solo savings deposits. I had not lived at home since I was 19. I had not taken $1 from them. I sent everything to my lawyer. He called me back in under an hour. "We just won this case." Receipt number 2. Locked and loaded. Discovery is a beautiful thing. In a lawsuit, both sides have to hand over financial records. My parents fought it. Their lawyer tried to block, but the judge ordered it. When I saw their bank statements, everything made sense. My father had invested in a commercial real estate venture 2 years earlier. It collapsed. They were $340,000 in debt. Missed mortgage payments, maxed credit cards, collections notices. My sister was in her medical residency. She was not making real money yet. They were drowning. And then they saw my company valued at $1.2 million for insurance purposes. They did not see me. They saw a lifeboat. During my father's deposition, his lawyer asked why he believed he had a claim. His answer was recorded on page 87. "He is our son. What is his is ours." That is how family works, not love. Not pride, entitlement. I sat in that conference room and felt something break. Not my heart. That had broken years ago, my guilt. Now I knew exactly what to do. Not revenge, justice. I upgraded my legal team. I hired a boutique litigation firm. They specialized in commercial cases with family crossover. The lead attorney was calm, surgical. "We do not argue. We show. Let the paper do the work." We filed 2 motions. First, a motion for summary judgment. That means asking the judge to rule in our favor without a trial, based purely on the evidence. Second, a counterclaim. Tortious interference for the client contact. Defamation for the lies told to family. I did not want their money. I wanted something better. A court order affirming sole ownership, and an injunction barring any future claims. I wanted them locked out. Legally. Permanently. My attorney drafted a witness statement for me. Calm, factual, 3 pages. I read it twice and signed. The night before trial, I reviewed the blue folder one last time. The purchase agreement, the affidavit, the emails, the bank records. Every page was a piece of my life they had tried to erase. I slept 4 hours that night, but I slept clean. The courtroom was tomorrow, and I was ready. The courtroom was smaller than I expected, wood-paneled, fluorescent lights. My parents sat on the left with their attorney, confident, dressed well. My mother looked at me once. No expression. My father checked his watch. They thought this was already over. The judge entered. We stood. Counsel, I have read the motions. Let us proceed. My parents' attorney went first. Your Honor, this is a case about family. About a son who turned his back on the people who raised him. Blood is thicker than paper. My attorney stood. Your Honor, blood may be thick. But paper is signed, notarized, and uncontested. She placed the first exhibit on the projector. Asset purchase agreement. March 14, 2021. 2 signatures. Notarized. No third parties. Then the second. Affidavit from the seller, Mr. Richard Henderson, signed voluntarily 3 months post-sale. She read aloud. I sold my business to the person who earned it. His parents never inquired, never assisted, and never appeared. The judge leaned forward. Then my attorney placed the email chain on the screen. January 11, 2021. The defendant offered both plaintiffs the opportunity to co-invest. She read my mother's reply. We are not interested in your little project. She read my father's text. You are on your own. The room went still. My attorney looked at the judge. They were offered partnership. They declined in writing. They cannot now claim entitlement to what they rejected. The judge turned to my mother. Mrs. Chen, is this your email address? My mother hesitated. Yes. Did you write, we are not interested in your little projects? Silence. Yes. The judge turned to my father. Mr. Chen, did you send this text? My father stared at the table. Yes. The judge removed her glasses. The evidence is unambiguous. The plaintiffs have no ownership interest. No contract, no claim. Summary judgment is granted for the defendant. Motion for injunction granted. The plaintiffs are barred from any future claims regarding Henderson and Company. Counterclaim for interference sustained. Nominal damages of $1 plus attorney fees awarded to the defendant. The gavel came down. My parents did not laugh this time. They did not even look at me. Their lawyer closed his folder. They walked out in silence. I exhaled for the first time in 4 weeks. It was over. The court ordered my parents to pay my attorney fees. $18,400. They paid in 3 installments. I did not pursue anything beyond that. They never apologized, not once. The extended family started asking questions. A few cousins reached out. I told them the truth, calmly, with screenshots. Some believed me. Some stayed silent. I made peace with both. The client who pulled the $60,000 contract came back 2 months later. They had read the court filing. Public record. We are sorry we doubted you. Can we restart? I said yes. Business is business. My sister sent one text a week after the trial. I did not know it would go this far. She never called. I did not chase her. I sent my parents one final letter. I am open to reconciliation if you are willing to attend family therapy and acknowledge the harm you tried to cause. Otherwise, I wish you well from a distance. They chose silence. I chose peace. The year after the trial, my company grew 30%. I hired 2 new people, signed 4 major contracts, moved into a bigger office. I did not gloat. I did not go public beyond what was already in the court record. I just worked. And I started something new, I launched a small mentorship program for young people estranged from family who want to start businesses. We offer skills training and startup grants. No strings. I named it the Henderson Initiative. 5 founders in the first year. 3 are still operating. Mr. Henderson came to the ribbon cutting. He cried, "You did good, kid. I do not talk to my parents anymore. Maybe I never will. But I do not carry anger. I carry boundaries. And that is enough. Here is what I learned. You do not owe anyone a piece of your peace, your work, or your future. Not even the people who gave you life. Family is not a claim. It is a relationship. And relationships require respect. I had the receipts. But more than that, I had the truth. And in the end, the truth was enough. So here's my question for you. If you were in my position, would you have offered your parents the chance to invest? Or would you have kept it private from the start? Drop your honest answer in the comments. I read them all. And if this story hit home, if you have ever had to set a boundary with family, hit that subscribe button. There are more stories like this. And you are not alone. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. It is not legal or financial advice. Always consult a licensed professional for your specific situation. Thanks for watching, and remember, your life is yours to build.